Hammer time.
Oh!
Here we go. Sci-fi genre front and center this weekend. Maze Runner, a trilogy coming to an end in The Death Cure.
Action-packed finale with Dylan O'Brien. I like this guy. He's got a lot of charisma. I even enjoyed him in American Assassin from last year, even though that movie, I had some problems with it. But that's another movie. Let's talk about The Death Cure.
Yes.
It all comes to a close in this action-packed third installment. Take a look.
Any ideas?
Maybe. Okay. It's doable. Just need a little running start.
Time to bail, boys.
So we get some action. What's the ratio, action versus good story to keep the fans captivated?
That's a good question. Lots of action, and the story just gets very repetitive and recycled. Now, I want to talk about this sequence, which is awesome. It opens the movie. This was shot west of Kamloops, and Dylan O'Brien was involved in a horrible stunt that went awry, and he was severely injured, and the production was delayed for months, and they actually moved from BC and shot the rest of the movie in South Africa. But this is a great opening for the movie. However, the film was supposed to come out at the beginning of last year.
That delay, especially when you're trying to complete a trilogy, how much do you think that'll impact the interest in the movie this weekend?
I think a lot. The first movie came out in 2014. The Scorched Trials was 2015. Now it's 2018, and it's buried at the end of January. And I did like the action in this movie. It's wall-to-wall, and Wes Ball, who directed all three movies, is a competent filmmaker. He's got a long, storied career ahead of him, but it was at the expense of a really mediocre script, and the movie has a great ensemble cast. They just have really shoddy material to work with, and unfortunately, the problem for me is in the first Maze Runner movie, it established all these really cool, thought-provoking themes about self-governance, and even conjured up things like that were explored in Lord of the Flies. And then they abandoned all that stuff with the Scorched Trials and with this one in favor of just that crazy action spectacular finale. The action is well staged, but I need a little more substance at the end of the day.
For the average moviegoer that hasn't seen the first two, can they get into this, or do you need the backstory if you want to enjoy this one?
You'll be totally confused and lost. I mean, I don't remember much about the Scorched Trials, and I found myself scratching my head with this one thinking, because there's this virus that has wiped out most of humanity called the flare virus, and then they have to get to this city to try to find a cure. But there are a lot of elements that I've forgotten, so yeah, you can't just pick this one up and expect to be totally up to speed. It really is hinged on you seeing the other two, and I feel like the quality has sort of degraded in the story department as we've gone along with these. It just doesn't hold a candle to like the Hunger Games movies. It sort of reminded me of like the Allegiant series with Shailene Woodley and that kind of thing. So this was very disappointing for me, I'm sorry to say.
How many hammers?
My advice is to read the books, 2 out of 5.
Reading is good too.
Yes.
All right, that's it for hammers.